Hello, heroes! Thank you all for tuning in to the Nexus episode number 39, which is just 11 episodes until BlizzCon. We got the countdown going now. I'm your host, Adam Eastwood, and thank you all for tuning in. This week, our lore-loving, time-altering gamer, David Troy, is back.
Hi, everybody. It's really great to be back. It's the Canadian social season right now, so, I haven't been able to be on every week, but plan to be here every single podcast for at least a good long while moving forward.
And that's the month of time where you actually can get out of the house because you're not snowed in, right?
Well, it's very Downton Abbey. There's a lot of balls and cotillions, and, we get presented to the Queen and things like that, so it's very exciting, and then we go back to the countryside with our butlers and such.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. We have the Blizzard and eSport enthusiast, Ben Blazek.
Greetings, everybody, from Carson City, Nevada. I wanted to kind of start off with sharing kind of like a little story of words of wisdom of how to differentiate gamers. So my buddy contacted me the other day and said that he was talking to a girl who plays video games, and he asked her, what's her favorite game? She said Call of Duty, and he said, oh, with the sound of disappointment in his voice. And she replied, yeah, I'm really good at it. And then he said, really, if you're good at COD, it's like saying you're really good at making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yep.
Oh, yay.
100% agreed.
And last but certainly not least, the amazing Josh Williams.
That is me. I am so glad that name stuck. I'm sure I've disappointed many of people to realize that I am not amazing, but I'm glad that you think so, Adam.
Like I said, I just read what gets put in front of me.
You make my night every Friday night. Just saying that I'm amazing.
Well, you could be spectacular or uncanny.
Yeah, but you have to wait like 40 to 50 shows to change it between them, It's kind of like comic books. It's Josh 2.0. So, David, we haven't heard from you in a little while. So, what have you been up to in terms of gaming? And actually, add in your thoughts on kind of the three new heroes, because I know we've had some discussions. So, let people know what you think of them as well.
Sure. I'll start with the heroes. Very excited to see them. Anubarak is one of those heroes that we've certainly felt was going to be coming. And same with Chen. I have to admit, Anubarak, at least from the gameplay, didn't like. Maybe I'm just all bugged out with all the new heroes that seem to be insectoid. So it didn't really have the same effect on me that I think it did on other people. Chen looks pretty interesting. I really liked his kind of the graphic where they show him turning into a barrel and rolling around. I thought that was pretty cool. Really, the one I'm most excited for is the one I kind of have the least connection to lore-wise, which is Asmodan. Looked very cool. Nice to see another Diablo hero come in. He's the Lord of Sin, the Master of Depravity. You gotta everyone's spring break buddy. So I'm very excited to get to play him and raunch around the battlefield. I have been playing more heroes. I think I'm finding that as the weather gets cooler, I play more heroes, and as it gets hotter, I play more Hearthstone. I think it just sort of lends itself to relaxing on the balcony or porch, drinking lemonade, playing some Hearthstone. Whereas heroes, you got to get right into and totally focus inside on your big screen TV kind of thing. So been playing more heroes. Gotten a chance to play a little Garden of Terror. Finally, the RNG gods have been nice to me. And definitely enjoying some Arthas, which I really had not up to this point. But I needed someone who can bully around little minions and just clear a path, and I'm really enjoying him in that sense. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Nax in Hearthstone, and also sort of getting my mage ready for Warlords of Draenor after seeing that awesome cinematic and everything like that. So beginning to just prep myself and getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So from the lore lover that you are, what are your thoughts on the cinematic really quick? We talked about it a bunch last week, but...
I thought the cinematic was fantastic. I loved it. It caused a big problem for me lore-wise because it made me want to play for the Iron Horde. I didn't really understand. One thing I've not really understood, to be honest, is all the Alliance whining. Now, to make myself clear, I play an Alliance character in Convert to Raid on Airy Peak. But I know I've heard some people whining that there's not enough Alliance in it. I think I'd whine more if I was Horde, because to be honest, you're not even the best Horde anymore. You're kind of Horde light. Iron Horde is definitely where it's at right now. Wish I could play for them. But the cinematic was great. I love me some Gul'dan. I thought Grom was great. I've always really liked Garrosh, even though he's killed me about 1,500 times in the last year. And also, if you haven't, read the new short story that's up, Hellscream, that's on the website. Explains a lot of the events that lead up to the cinematic, and it's really well written. Really enjoyed it a whole lot.
Okay, Josh, what have you been up to?
I've been playing a lot of co-op friends with my friend Eric. A lot of co-op games. Like he picked up Portal 2, so we started playing through that again. That game's a lot of fun, of course. Still fun, especially if you haven't played it since it first came out. You forget how the puzzles are done, and then you feel like a big idiot. And then I was playing some Diablo today, and then we played some League of Legends, which doing freaking horrible at. But other than that, I've been squeezing in WoW when I can, trying to build up, gold and try to get some ground mounts for Warlords, just for the fact that we can't fly in it. So that's basically what I've been up to.
Yeah, but you can, a lot of the ground mounts that don't have, a lot of the flying mounts that don't have ground animations, they're going to give ground animations so that way you can use those if you want.
Yeah, but I just mean, like, there's a lot of the rep mounts that I haven't gotten from Mist.
Like the
that that and like the tigers and the
the Shadowban tigers.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I just trying to get that stuff beforehand, just so I have some cool ground mounts.
So you can ride in style.
Yep, that's right. Besides my awesome horde mount that I'll have for free from Blizzard, the tricycle.
We're not gonna have to spend 100,000 gold on that.
Yep.
It's okay. Why ride that when you can ride your Kor'kron Warwolf? So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Ben, what has your week looked like in terms of gaming and just general life?
So I felt inspired after the cinematic, and I actually reinstalled Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness. And I've been playing through the Orc campaign in Tides of Darkness, having an amazing time because it was an amazing game that I grew up on. And aside from that, been playing a lot of Heroes with you and Brandon and this other guy named Josh as we build our Heroes team. And been spending a lot of time practicing and getting a lot of good matches and getting chemistry going. So that's been an amazing time, and hopefully it continues. I've been in Carson City since Tuesday. I fly to Vegas on Monday, and then I'll fly home next Friday. And so I'm using 4G hotspots, and as of today, they decided to throttle my phone and my hotspot because I was using too much data while gaming on the unlimited plan. But GSA contracts are not supposed to be touched by that at all. They're supposed to be exempt from that, so we're in kind of a battle to get that resolved. So I'm going to be playing probably a lot of Heroes because I can't even surf the web on my hotspot because it's throttled so bad.
So why don't let everyone know kind of what you've been playing in terms of the team?
So we decided to go in the route of a primary, secondary, and a tertiary rotation, and then we kind of rotate those in and out with our compositions. I decided on the team, even though we don't have that official classification yet in the game, or we don't know if we're going to get it, I'm going to be the mage on the team. So I've been playing Witch Doctor geared towards heavy ability power damage, and I'm one of the top damagers on the team with Witch Doctor. The backup support is Uther, and my tertiary spot is revolving with Tychus right now. But I'm probably going to end up swapping him out for Asmodan when he comes out, and then eventually, whenever we get down the road and I can free my beast, I'm going to be playing that Cho'Gall. So
free your beast.
Yeah, for those of you who aren't watching YouTube, you can't see the overlay. The overlay is Unleash Cho'Gall on the I guess it's the right hand side. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't know what they see. So I put that up there just for Ben because we actually changed our Twitter image from Chen to Cho'Gall because that's who we're kind of rooting for next. Once we're done with that, then David or Josh, whoever wants to jump in, gets to pick the next hero that we're rooting to get because Chen was definitely the one we needed the most. In terms of my gaming, I've really, fallen into the role of the warrior class, kind of the bruiser at this point. I feel like I'm getting real strong with that type of gameplay where I can kind of just run in and beat on people and then get out if I can. In terms of my favorite hero, it has yet again changed. I think it started as Nova, and then was Gazlo for a long time, and then Tyrael, and now Stitches. I love Stitches so much. It's the hook. I really like the initiate that brings the enemy to you instead of bringing you to the enemy, because I feel like there's more utility to it in this game. Because if you're going to the enemy, you're entering into 3 to 5 enemies, and you're going to get beat up. Where you can make it look like your team's running away, hook one of their guys in and just burn them down, and then it's a 4-on-5 fight if it was 5-on-5. So I feel like right now, if I had to pick like the best warrior out there, I think I would say Stitches. I know other people would say Diablo or Arthas because of the pure damage Arthas puts out. And then Diablo they've kind of fixed a little bit at this point, but I think there's just a little more utility in Stitches than the rest.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask if you agreed with me.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. You were doing amazing with him last night when we were doing like some practice rounds. Wednesday and Thursday are our practice nights, and I remember there's one moment in particular where like you grabbed somebody, pulled them in, and the whole team started to concave inwards, and you stunned them. Then I threw down a Divine Storm, and it was done. That was it. The whole team fight was gone. We just mopped up.
Yeah, Uther and Stitches, if they both go for their stuns, it can get pretty ridiculous at this point. And then I've been playing a little bit of Arthas just like David, but I'm still trying to kind of get the build I like with him. In terms of, I just figured this out kind of today, is that kind of a big tip I would give with Stitches is, oh man, I forgot. I didn't even think I was going to say this, but then I remembered I might as well. I think it's level 13 or 16 talent. You have to choose between making your hook longer, or making it so your slam does a stun and extra damage. And usually the stun and the extra damage is the choice to go with. But if you're playing against a siege tank, so if Sergeant Hammer is on the other team, grab the longer hook, because you're going to want to bring Sergeant Hammer in first if you can, and just burn her down, because that's what she wants. She wants to be away from you. And Stitches is the anti-hammer.
Yep.
Any other thoughts about this week, or are you guys ready to just kind of move on to the news? We'll take that as a move on to the news. Okay.
Sure, why not?
So in terms of just kind of general non-Heroes of the Storm related news, we did kind of get a little bit more information about World of Podcasts, which we'll be attending in force. David will be there in spirit. I think
I'll be your guardian angel.
I'm gonna get a picture of David and put it on like one of the Funko figures, and then carry you around and be like, "Here, David, look, it's BlizzCon."
I'm like Norman Bates' mom.
Like a skeletal David Troy.
That's it.
In terms of that, we are going to be on kind of the panels that are there. They're still deciding kind of what panels, who's going to be on. So we're not really ready to talk about that. But as soon as we can give you that information, we'll let you know. Because then if you are planning to go to BlizzCon, you can kind of prepare some questions for us, depending on what we're going to be doing. We also want to make sure everybody knows that there is a Kickstarter for World of Podcasts. They do have some sponsors, but it doesn't pay all the bills, and a little bit extra makes it so the event is just that much better. So if you guys get a minute, go ahead over to Kickstarter.com and look up World of Podcasts. There will be a link to it with the show notes, so that way quick access for you guys. There are some pretty cool rewards if you help out, and I hope to see everyone there. It's going to be so much fun. I think it's something like 3 or 4 rooms worth of just nerd stuff going on. So, and that's about it in terms of World of Podcasts. Like I said, there will be a link in the notes, and you can pretty much find it anywhere. And worldofpodcast.com to kind of see more details as well. Now onto the Heroes news. Now the big news was actually some more Gamescom interviews that went on. Icy Veins did have an interview with Kaeo Milker, who's the senior game producer for Heroes of the Storm. I thought it was really interesting. There was a lot of kind of tidbits of information out there that were what we're going to see, and what their expectations kind of, when the game gets closer, and what it'll be in a release. I think one of the big before the game is released is that the features that we can be expect are observer mode, replays, clans, groups, rankings, and other things. Ben, of those, which one do you think is you're very happy it's in there? Like, what excites you the most that they're going to have it in for release?
Dude, that's kind of like it's really hard to pick one because all of it kind of ties in together. So like observer mode ties hand in hand with like the clans and the whole ability to do like official. We're gonna get in there and actually be able. I mean, right now people are kind of scrimming in like a different kind of a manner, and we'll cover that in a little bit. But to have an official setup where we can get teams, put them against each other, figure out who's the best, track the rankings, and then actually watch it. I think Heroes is one of the most aesthetically pleasing MOBAs to watch. The game looks absolutely beautiful in alpha right now. I mean, you would not think it's an alpha for how great it looks and how great it actually plays and responds behind the keyboard. I think once we finally get a full fleshed out spectator mode and we're able to actually go on Twitch, cast matches, and watch everything back to back, it's going to be a great and amazing. I mean, look at League of Legends right now. Huge spectator follow on. And personally, if you put the two games side by side, League of Legends looks like crap. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm definitely probably most excited about the whole spectator thing, but all of it together as a whole, like, it's really hard to pick one.
No, the spectator and observer mode I would put as my favorite. Just because that means, Hearthstone, they didn't really have that. They don't have that in there yet. They're definitely putting it in, but I don't think they expected that to be as big an esport as it is. And, this just shows that they're at least getting behind and know that that's what the community wants. They want an esport out of this. I mean, considering there's no, real progression like World of Warcraft, stuff like that, you need something for people to be able to watch and see. David, any what kind of piques your interest in terms of the features that we can expect?
For me, I'd have to say rank mode. I think having that in there. I mean, I didn't imagine it could possibly launch without it, but the fact that it's confirmed that it will, I think that's great. I think that it changes the way you approach the game as a more casual player like I am. It really changes the entire way you approach it. Just because you may not be playing every day, but it gives you that little bit of extra edge to get in. It gives you something to kind of shoot for every month. If we're looking at, okay, my goal is to reach such and such rank this month, and that it really gives the player progression beyond just kind of like our current progression levels, which is that 2-tiered one that we have now, the player and the hero. And I think you're going to see that's when you're really going to see a lot of active playing as people jump into that ranked mode. I know from to take Hearthstone as a comparison, I never play anything but ranked mode in Hearthstone. I don't see the point in it because I want every game to count, and that's kind of how I probably would play Heroes too. It might not help my ranking in that sense, but I want every game to count. I want every game to be a playoff game. So, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, and Josh, what are your thoughts on the features? What are you looking forward to?
Ranked. I'm with David on that. I love rank once they add it, and since there's not really words of how we're going to get in it yet, or if you have to be a certain level or whatnot. But once we get able to get into rank mode, that's basically all I'm going to be playing myself. I don't want to do anything else, play anything else. That's the main thing I'm excited to see unfold with this game. Besides, spectator's cool. They have it in League of Legends and Dota too. I never really use it, but I know it's huge. People use it all the time. It's not what I really use, but I can't wait to see what they do with rank. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, what else is the kind of the clan mode? I wonder if it's just. It doesn't seem like it's just going to be like a 5-person or 6-7 person thing where kind of like in League of Legends where you can just kind of it's like a team. I think that's more just like a group. The clan I'm really excited for is because we can have like the Nexus podcast clan, and everyone can have a clan chat, and if you're looking for people to play, you have a common group, kind of like what Convert to Raid does for, or in AIE as well, they do for kind of your WoW community, get people together to play. I'm really looking forward to that.
They have that in they kind of have that in Diablo 3 as well. With Reaper Souls, they added the clans and communities, which I absolutely love in that game. You just say, hey, want to play? Go do rifts and stuff, and that's like you said, it's going to add that feature to this game.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see the bigger guilds like AIE and CTR jumping in. I mean, we kind of do that a little bit already in CTR, but I can see them formally jumping in and getting that. And then it's such a, especially for a MOBA, it's such a more comfortable environment to play in when you've got people you already know that you can jump in with rather than just queuing into randoms.
I mean, and the level of excitement behind it is already extreme right now. One of our other teammates that was at practice with the other night showed us this. If you go into the main chat channel when you load up Heroes Alpha, you do /join/draft. It's a draft channel where everybody's kind of they have a site up where they're comparing MMRs. I guess we'll probably end up talking about that in a little while, but and the amount of people that are in there, just going head to head, scrimming with the way that they figured out how to do it right now, and the excitement about challenging and playing competitively is incredible. And there's all kinds of inside jokes that go back and forth about queuing up together and all that stuff. And it's actually a very entertaining channel to read while you're just sitting there waiting to get into a match.
Yeah, no, it's clans, and I think that'll just be an extension of the create your own channel. I'm stoked for it. I have to use the word stoked just because I think it fits.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome feature there. Having your personal community in this type of game like that, like you said, because I'm in AIE, so, I'm in there. We have our separate ventrilo that only we have access to. So if everyone is part of AIE, they can get in that. So you're going to have voice chat automatically, usually, or at least people listening to you. So that adds in a new thing too. You can, if they're part of your community, you can get them in on voice chat, which is in these games is so important, especially if you're going to do rank and be competitive. You need that voice chat. It's just no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And they said that it's too early to kind of discuss anything in ranking systems, but I forget where I read it. It was either on the forums somewhere where they were talking about how it's going to be a draft, and I couldn't disagree more with the poster at that time of the certain thread where they were talking about how draft makes it a pay-to-win system because the people who can buy and get more heroes are able to counter better. And I'm like, by the time you get to level 40 where you can draft, you're going to be able to buy at least 7 to 10 heroes on the gold that you get just from getting that level, I think. And on top of that, is it 7 free heroes in the rotation that you get at that point? So I disagree with that. I think the draft system is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun with League of Legends, but the draft mode in that, I can see that being the pay to win kind of feature.
Pay to win.
Because in League of Legends, there's some characters that are just way overpowered, and League, or not in League, but in Heroes, a lot of the characters feel pretty. I'm sure they're still tweaking them, but they feel pretty strong, compared to each other. You know what I mean? More balanced with each other compared to a lot of other MOBAs.
Now, this is going off on the whole theory crafting thing, but who's to say that we're not going to have access to all the heroes in ranked mode?
See, but then I feel like that undermines the whole reason to purchase heroes.
No, you still have your casual mode.
Yeah, but I mean, I think...
Or who's also to say if you're playing one hero in ranked that you're gonna get all the XP towards their master unlocks. So maybe you have to purchase the hero to get XP towards the master skins and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But I just think that with a majority of people playing ranked, or maybe not majority, but I think a large people play ranked, even if it's at a lower MMR, like a bronze league or anything like that. Then you're getting all the heroes, so why bother using gold to buy them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's an intriguing idea, Ben, but I think it's not going to happen. I totally agree with Adam in the sense that what's anybody's real incentive? Just if you're just playing casual mode all the time anyway, you're probably not even that excited to shell out real money. It'd be like, again, not to use Hearthstone as a comparison, but it'd be like if you go into ranked mode in Hearthstone and you have access to all the cards. I just don't. I can't see. It's too much of a carrot to offer people for real money purchases and gold purchases that they would ever necessarily just let you have your way with all the heroes in ranked mode, so to speak.
Now, all right, so 2 things onto that. If that's going to be the case, then that's going to fall back on my original how I feel about the whole thing. That's what's going to separate the hardcore from the casual people, because the hardcore people are going to do what's necessary to compete. Mm-hmm. Just like me, the first night I got into Alpha, I instantly blew $150. Instantly. So I bought all those original great bundles that we had, and I bought additional skins that I wanted. And so the second piece of that, doesn't League of Legends offer you all the heroes in ranked mode?
Nope.
No.
It doesn't?
No, I'm
Definitely
pretty sure not. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Dota's the only one that lets you just play any hero
Yep.
or champion or whatever they call it in that game.
Dota's like a hippie commune. I mean, they just let you do whatever.
Whoa now.
But here's
they're
the thing.
soft. We can invade them.
When you're going into ranked mode, you tend to have a role that you play. You know, so for example, in League of Legends, I played AD carry, so I had all the relevant AD carries purchased or either with real money or unlocked with IP, so that way when if the guy who I normally play is banned, I then have a backup, or I have 3 or 4 backups, because that's why you need to have a deep hero pool. Is otherwise you're going to come into a game and you're just going to be horrible because you've never played them before. And I think not having all the heroes and having a draft mode adds dimension to it, because then you need to know who you need to bring to the battlefield, per se, in terms of who's viable at the time.
Yep.
And for the most part, when you get into ranked play, people are going to have all the unlocks they need to play, and that I like.
I feel like at that point they should definitely have a hard cap on, or not a hard cap, but a hard threshold as far as when you can get into ranked. I don't think you should be able to do it at level 1.
No, level 40.
And you should, and also too, I think there's also a requirement. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this one, unless they've changed it. I haven't been playing a while, but when I did ranked back a long time ago in League, you had to have a minimum set of champions in order to go into ranked because of the fact that there's draft mode. So it would only make sense to allow you have to have a minimum set of heroes to go into the ranked mode in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be some, because as someone pointed out in the chat room, League of Legends, you can't use the free rotations heroes in ranked. So if Blizzard follows suits with that, they would have to put a cap, like a minimum amount of heroes that you would have to own, or else you might just get screwed out of playing, because you might not have the hero available because they might ban them all.
Well, you figure...
But I'm sure they'll probably put that cap. You need the minimum of this. All of us won't have a problem, because I'm pretty sure besides David, all 3 of us, we own all the characters.
And chat room just also pointed out something that makes sense too, that the hard number is 16 champions for the League of Legends ranked mode, because you cannot play mirror champions on the team. So if I pick Arthas on this team and you're playing against me, Adam, you cannot pick Arthas. So there's 10 unique right there, and then 3 bans per team. That's 16 total. So
and I don't think 16 heroes is going to be hard to get. Honestly,
no, absolutely not.
It's
especially if they don't let you get until level 40, you should be able to afford that easily.
In just straight bonus like leveling gold, where they actually give you levels that you get the kind of the extra gold. I added it up and it was like something like 16,000 gold in that alone. And that's not including the actual. I think just going up your levels. That's like the you unlock while you level 2. It's like bonus gold. But I haven't leveled since the new system, so I could be wrong with that. You might only get the 16,000, but then your daily quest, getting up to level 40, your wins and losses in your versus mode get you gold. So I think they'll be fine. Overall, one other thing about this interview that I meant to mention right off the bat was the first question is that same question that everyone always asks. It's like, I really wish they would just ban the question of, are you guys going to have like Blackthorn and the Lost Vikings available?
We've only answered this 20 times.
I know. I was like, oh, again with that question. Like,
please, people, watch BlizzCon.
Yeah, I swear, like, if I'm in line at BlizzCon to ask a Heroes of the Storm question and somebody says that, I don't know. I might rage. Be like, rah! I'll yell "con" really loud for anyone out there. That's what I'm going to do. So if you hear a random con, you know why. And
Would it be cool if all the questions were just that?
What, repeats?
Yeah, just repeats, just constantly. Then they're going up there.
David's gonna like pay somebody like 20. I said 20 gold, $20. But
20 gold.
Make sure
if it's me, it would be 20 gold, right? I'm not gonna pay them real money.
Be like, ask about Blackthorn and the Lost Vikings, please. Okay, kind of moving on with the interview. I think it's cool. Habitual levers will end up being matched with other levers. That is amazing. I love that. I don't think any of us can disagree with that.
I think the fact that people are still doing it in alpha is ridiculous. Like, get over it. It's not ranked. We're not tracking anything right now other than unless you go and do that, like, MMR stuff that we might talk about later, but it doesn't matter right now. We're testing, giving feedback, we're having a great time. Chill out. Like, do not take it so serious. Now, I take it a little bit serious when we're doing like a 5v5 practice. Like, when we were queuing up the other night as a 5 and we knew that we were playing other 5's teams, I was getting a little stressed about some things. That's just how I am in my competitive nature, but I'm not leaving the game. So, people just need to calm down.
And also talking about people leaving, what's really cool is they will have the AI will eventually be tuned to match the MMR of the player who left. So I think that's pretty cool. I like that idea because you really need that if you're going to have the computer take over for the player, because you don't want it just to be like crap at AI playing, because then it actually hurts you more than it helps. So I'm excited for that. And this is kind of the other thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is, obviously they want a faster rejoin if you get disconnected legit and you didn't leave, but maybe allow someone else to take over the player who left. Now, does that mean like I in the team can be like, okay, that role is a little more important, let me jump to that role, or actually say, hey, I have a friend on, boom, hey, you want to come help us finish this match? Either way, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mixed feelings on it. I'd have to see it in play for a little bit, but definitely, like, I think maybe in like versus mode that's okay, but ranked it shouldn't be allowed. No, I think ranked, if somebody drops, you're down.
That's true. David, what do you think of that?
I mean, I agree with Ben. I think if it's ranked, you get the old red card or whatever, you're out. That's it. You're a man short for the rest of the game. I think for versus, I mean, I can't imagine that it would be a case where you'd be jumping to another hero, because I think that would be kind of a nightmare. Like, whose XP do you get partial XP on one hero versus another? Like, it just seems like it would be kind of a difficult thing to set up. I would think there would probably be just someone else who's queuing comes in, right? Like you do with the dungeon and WoW. It's like, oh, you come in and it's like, okay, we're right here at the final boss. So you might suck if you're the one queuing, but
yeah, and anybody who comes into that instance, they're like, man, you guys are noobs. Keep losing people at the final boss.
Yes. But you can be the one that comes in and saves the day, right? You hit that final jump shot. You turn the whole thing around.
You see those 10 skeletons on the ground, you're like, man.
These guys.
Everybody's like got the timer. Yeah, it's like
been there, done that.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, I would hate, maybe it'll be like a checkbox or something that you can check about being able to enter a game that's already previously in progress, because I would just hate, you go in, you have time for like one full match, and all of a sudden you get put into a match that's like 11 minutes in, and you're like, oh, this is going to be like a 10-minute match for me, and then I don't have enough time for a full game. So I think that it should be like an optional thing if it's just going to pull somebody out of the queue and throw them in there. Especially, they'd have to pull someone who's playing that hero, or that's, in order to do that.
It's good if you're leveling XP, though. I mean, hey, I'm in there for 5 minutes. I just got 80,000 or 50,000, right? Something like that. I mean, it's give and take, right? I mean, it helps in certain ways. On the other hand, yeah, I mean, that was kind of a boring game.
The only thing I would question about, pulling someone from the queue to join a match that's already in progress, if they already selected a hero, what if that hero's already selected? Does it look for matches that don't have that hero? You know what I mean?
Well, I would say
because that would take a while.
If it's Nova, say, that's left, it's somebody queued as Nova that will get put in.
But I mean, that's going to be kind of like, you're probably going to be sitting in queue for a while at that point. And it depends on how they work on it, but I feel like that might be stretching it a little much, because you're having to look for pretty exact matches at that point. And we're probably going to be cross-referencing some MMR at that point, too. So, I mean, I don't know exactly how I feel about that. You might just have to kind of say sorry at that point, and you're going to be down. But you can always throw an invite to one of your friends, just hit them up and like open up your friends list, be like, hey, need you real quick, play this champ or this hero, blah blah blah, here's an invite, jump into like a game already in progress. That's cool. But the other route, that's some real technical work.
No, I it's a feature that I think I want them to put it in and test it, and then see how it works, and then decide if it should be in the game or not. Kind of like they did with artifacts, except maybe give it a little more time.
As opposed to so everyone can freak out. And then
It
it's
was the
gone
greatest turnaround.
People are gonna
Hey man,
freak out
I got a
about
lot
everything.
of gold out of that.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't.
got a lot
I
of gold.
spent all of it.
Dun, dun, dun.
I
Good
was
I'm
job.
still
dude.
hoarding it. So
I
when
did
they add Deathwing to the game and he cost 80,000 gold, I'll have it.
I did what they told me to do. I was testing out the artifacts, and I spent my gold.
I was texting out the artifacts I wanted.
I went in there and I just bought them all. Like everything. I'm like, I might as well just buy them all. I'm gonna eventually buy them all anyways. I'm gonna need them when it launches or when I move on.
You played a lot of Pokemon, didn't you? You gotta catch them all.
No, I've never played Pokemon.
What?
I am a avid collector, and if I'm missing one thing, it bothers me. So like, we won't go into my psychological issues on this show.
If that's the way it is, don't start Pokemon then, because you gotta catch them all.
Oh no, that's why I didn't. This the term "gotta catch 'em all." I'm like, that's like my mentality in like everything. Like if I get one of something, and it's really, quick tangent. It's really bad with like when I get my loot crate in each month, and I get like one thing, and I'm like, man, there's like 12 in the set. I should probably go get the other 11. But then I don't. So, because like it's just bad. It's like I have to own every hero in the game. I mean it's to turn it back into Heroes of the Storm, I need every hero that comes out.
What you need to start doing, Adam, is collecting clowns.
No.
Yes.
No.
You need to start a clown collection.
Dude, we were practicing the other night, and one of our other teammates picked Skazlo, and I'm like private messaging him real quick. I'm like, yo, go to the store real quick and buy the clown costume. And he's like, I don't have my credit card attached.
I never played Gazlo. I almost bought that.
No, we don't need it.
I want to buy it and gift it to Adam.
Oh man, let's move on from this. No more clown talk.
Digress.
Now, like I said, they really talked about kind of new heroes. We did see the 3 new heroes at Gamescom. What I found interesting that they said they will be added in 2 upcoming patches, which means that in one of the next 2 patches, we're going to see 2 new heroes, not just one. That's got me excited. That means it's probably a little over a month, and we'll have all 3 of them in there.
And you know what's great? We still have gold left over to buy them.
Yes.
Unlike you.
No, I still have 50,000 gold.
Okay, good.
So
Adam's like, I'll just attach my credit card. I don't care.
yeah,
I'm scared.
I think I'm getting close to the limit.
Your paycheck just goes straight to Blizzard.
Yeah, I just sign it over. It'd be like Mike Morheim, right? I can sign this over to Mike Morheim. Which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it moving on to the actual servers for Blizzard. Kind of like they were talking about that for a little bit. So that way I can have my regular Battle.net friends in, just so I can kind of get some people and talk to them, and I don't have to remember who's in Heroes of the Storm. I'll just have all my friends on there anyways. I want that to happen. I wonder if once the game launches, if they're gonna do similar to what League of Legends does, and WoW, I guess, and where they have the PTR. So a new hero comes out, they put them out on the PTR, then you play them on the PTR and test them for bugs and all that, and get your hands on the new heroes before they're released. I hope they do it that way.
I'm sure they will.
It would make most sense later on down the road as we're like, we have ranked and we have competitions with tournaments and stuff. It would only make more sense.
Yeah.
As long as we have competition in the game, they'll do it. I mean, they do it for Warcraft, they do it for StarCraft, and they do it for Diablo. Mm-hmm. I don't see this game being any different with that aspect of them being able to test out the heroes with a wide variety of people to balance it before they put it live.
Why fix what isn't broken?
Yep. On the flip side, though, they didn't do it with Hearthstone.
Yeah, that one.
They didn't do it with the Nax Ramus.
Hearthstone's a little
that
different,
one's different, though. Yeah.
Because the point is, if you played Hearthstone or Nax in some kind of PTR, like really playing it for real is really pointless. Mm-hmm. Because it's the whole thing is trying to figure out the puzzle, right?
Well,
once you got to figure it out.
They just, they have a PTR realm where you can try out the new cards in like some pre-constructed decks, to make sure there's no like crazy bugs with the new cards.
Yeah, but that was kind of the whole fun of this whole period has been
Building the
testing
new
that out
decks.
for real, right?
Yeah.
I think it's different for a card game. It's kind of like, remember when you had like those little coloring book type things when you were a kid, and then they had the maze, and you sort of took the pen through the maze?
Mhm.
Did you guys have that?
Well, I
Yeah,
did it with
Get
my
rid of
finger.
books by the
continue.
time you guys
I
were
did it with
kids?
my finger first to make sure I could do it, and then I went with the pen.
Yeah,
And then
see,
you
it'd be
forgot which
like
way you
getting
went.
one of those mazes after someone's already done it. It's like, oh, okay, great. I know how to
Like the
get through it.
highlights in the doctor's office.
Fair enough.
That's right.
Oh,
Where's
any-
Waldo, man?
where's Waldo? I also, in terms of, I guess it's Heroes of the Storm lore, is that there's going to be the Nexus universes. Where like WoW, has the WoW characters. There's going to be, what we consider new heroes coming in that maybe don't fit into the three that we already know. Saying
I
that
would be
there's
okay with that.
not just Blackthorn and Lost Vikings.
Seeing
I
what
hope-
Blizzard's artists can draw, I would love to see what creatures that they've drawn that don't fit in the universes that can go into this.
No,
You know what I want to see? I want to see like all of a sudden Garage pops up and he's like, "Oh, I'm here to stop you." Oh man, like where am I? Kind of thing. It's like, this isn't where I was supposed to.
I'm try to take it over though, knowing him.
Yeah, he just
He's a jerk.
He just
This
keeps
is
telling us
mine.
not to drink anything. Don't drink out of that well.
Yeah.
that well, it's gonna you can become a slave to somebody for drinking out of the well.
Slave to the Nexus. Like, shut up, Garage. Trying to
Oh man,
Leave us
but
alone.
the other thing I saw was that like the battlegrounds were going to start going, or we might start seeing, WoW or StarCraft or Diablo themed battlegrounds. That's pretty cool. That's what I'm waiting for.
Still
I
on my
thought of
next
this-
battleground.
Yeah, I thought of this a long time ago of like a StarCraft map where the creeps are like, depending what side you're on, one side could be like Zerg type creeps, like just the normal little creatures could be Zerglings, and like the casters could be Hydralisks, and on the other side it would be Marines versus with Marauders, pushing with them or going across against each other. I always thought that would be like a cool crossover map.
Oh yeah,
They actually have one of those in the StarCraft 2 arcade. It used to be called SOTIS, SOTIS. I forget what the actual name of it is spelled out, but it was their Dota that they were working on, and one side was Zerg Creep, and the other side was like green, like Ire map layout with like Protoss buildings.
That'd be cool. I hope they bring stuff like that into this universe.
No, there's a lot of cool things that we're gonna do. I mean, if everything works out, we'll be playing this game for years to come. And just imagine the heroes they're gonna pull in. I cannot wait to see where this just keeps building and building and growing. League of Legends has something like 120 something champions at this point. Imagine 128 Blizzard heroes in one game. I mean,
And another thing, League of Legends only has 2 maps, and it's been out for how long? And Heroes is there 3 maps?
Twisted, Treeline, the Summoner's
Oh,
Rift,
yeah,
and that
that's
Dominion
right.
map.
I forgot about
and
Twisted.
ARAM,
Oh, and Ram, that's 4.
but only one for rank play. That's the thing. We're gonna have 5. Like right now, if rank play started today, we'd have 5 matches or battlegrounds. So.
And that's just been since March. Who knows when we get up to 100 something heroes, how many maps we'll have then?
My guess, if I think we've talked about this before, but if I really had to guess, I think we're gonna have 7 matches that are available in ranked play at any one time throughout a season. I think you'll be able to blacklist 2 of them, and then you have a 5 pool map. I think that that would be an awesome ranked mode, or even I guess the casual mode will work that way as well.
As long as they keep, the one thing is I want, as long as they keep the old maps from the rotate, as new seasons come on and we get new rotations and they keep old maps to where you can still go in and make customs, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't see why the custom maps, and because you're gonna have custom games and you're gonna be able to build your own games, if I remember as well, right? That's gonna be really cool. I'm very excited for that. I'm like, imagine, because that's how MOBA started. It was sorry.
Yeah.
World, Warcraft 3, and that's where Dota came from. So it's like, imagine if like a whole new game genre comes from this. That would just be awesome. I'm excited to see what the community can do with a MOBA engine, because there's some crazy creative people out there.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's crazy. I'm excited.
Same.
Any of you guys have anything else to kind of point out from that interview? I think we hit pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's just good to see everybody out there, throwing more information out to the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to hear, especially someone's different perspective on everything that's coming. So it's just great. Anytime anyone's out there from Blizzard, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm loving about this. Like, it's alpha, and look how open they've been about stuff. Like, they've talked about so much stuff that they want to do, and trying with this game that you usually don't see with competitive games in this early stage. And I'm loving that. I want more interviews all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too.
The build up is happening. It's coming, man. It's gonna be. There's no pun intended, but it's gonna be a huge storm.
Whoa,
That's very true.
I think we just got a show title there. It's gonna be a huge storm.
Bring an umbrella.
Okay. In terms of just, like, I don't know if this is considered news or just something that I found out this past week was that you are able to watch replays of your matches in a way. I don't know. I would assume Blizzard doesn't mind people doing this, considering it's up on Reddit, and if they really disliked it and didn't want people to do it, they would take it down or have it taken down, or just stop it from working. So I'll put the link in the show notes if people are interested, just to kind of see what's going on. I think we were talking with a couple people yesterday, Ben, right?
Yeah.
Not yesterday, the day before maybe, but.
Yeah, between Wednesday and Thursday, when we were at practice, we were talking to one of the other guys on the team named Josh. He was talking to us about it. So
yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. I'll add it to the show notes just so people can kind of see it. I think it really works well if you're trying to be a competitive team, because you can go back and watch a match, kind of like any other sport. You can watch the replays and be like, what did you do wrong here? What was the better play at that point?
Well, I can tell you what you did wrong. You were over here screwing around with mercs when we're over here defending. Oh.
I've done that does tend to be a problem that I do a lot. That's my thing. Is like, I see mercs are open. I'm like, I'm going to run and get these mercs, and then all of a sudden we're dead. And I'm like, but I got the mercs, guys.
It totally matters.
Same problem, oddly enough, Adam.
I'm so used to, what it is. I was playing Gazlo so much. It's like, that was my job. So
yeah.
I think we were raised on the same patch, Adam, because I have the same problem with Witch Doctor.
Now, last week we did start to talk a little bit about esports. We were kind of making, guesses and stuff, and very nicely, ESV Diamond actually replied and kind of gave us a little more information, which we appreciate. Kind of lets us know what's going on. Because me personally, I've gotten a little bit more into kind of the esports end of it lately, because now that I know it's kind of out there. A few little things that they hit is they don't have any insider information. So Josh, you were 100% correct about that.
About what?
About them not having any insider information last week?
Yeah. Told you.
I guess it's a first. We should write that on the board somewhere.
A first? No. Sir, I'm leaving.
So, no insider information, so we're not going to see custom, or we're not. There's no like, hey, we're going to see custom maps in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be doing their leagues without custom maps. So, which I thought was really difficult, but like you said, he also explained that they use the chat channel to coordinate entering the queue, and people with high MMR. It makes it so it only works 100% of the time when you're pairing 2 5-man teams together, and which I still have some concerns with in terms of like from a viewer standpoint. Just because what happens at one time where they don't, if they're matching with someone near like a MMR nearby, you can't just win the game quickly. At this point, like that means that team must be, of equal value, and you're going to get trolled. I think you're really, good. There's going to be some trolling involved where they're going to try to queue around the same time and stuff like that. Ben, what are your thoughts kind of on the their queuing system?
first of all, I love the fact that we're trying. Like, you could see the excitement around the competitive esports community with this game. We have a site dedicated to, uploading your replays to get your MMR calculated. We have a draft channel in the game where people are, they're challenging each other to scrims, and they're coordinating when to queue up, and they're treating it like an airplane runway. As part of the jokes inside the chat channel, where they're all like, "Is the runway clear? Taking off? Blah blah blah." All that stuff's going on. The whole random chance piece is the one thing that does concern me. If we go into an aspect where we are going to broadcast this on Twitch, and all of a sudden we get matched with the wrong team, even though they have an amazing track record right now, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. All of a sudden you've got all these people logged in and they're ready to watch the match, and then all of a sudden we have a delay of game by 40 minutes because we have to allow, let's say, maybe with high MMR teams, 30-minute matches are more likely, and then you want to give them a couple minutes to recoup after the match. So you're looking at about maybe a 40-minute, delay of game. So, I mean, it's really... I love the fact that they're trying, but there's just way too much random chance still involved. Even with, like, a 99.9% Q rate, that is still a 1% chance. That 0.1% chance can definitely ruin like a piece of a tournament. We'll see what happens with it, because my worry is that any changes that they do while they're tweaking the matchmaking system, because we are in alpha and we're still trying to figure it out. If they tweak any of those things, all of a sudden it can get flipped upside down on its head, and all of a sudden we're at like a 50% Q rate against other people in the same draft channel.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they also explained how they're kind of figuring out like the best teams out there and best players, because that was like one of my concerns. Like, how can you really say this is one of the best players if there's no like hard concrete way? And like they said, I guess, and I didn't realize that the teams that are competitive are playing each other every day, and they're able to kind of create like a ranking system amongst themselves that everyone kind of agrees with who is what teams are playing the best, because they're playing so much at this point in the alpha, and that's really cool to see, and I think it's a great start to the esports legitimacy of this game. David, Josh, any of you guys interested in esports at all, or are you kind of just going to be playing and not worrying too much about it?
Well, I'm definitely going to be interested in it. I doubt I'll be like that much involved in it in that sense. Like, I kind of like jumping into games and having some fun. But it's like we talked about last time I was here. Blizzard has said, however it turns out as an esport, it's going to depend a lot on the community, and I think I mentioned last time that I think that's kind of a little, jaded. I was a little jaded at that because, of course, they want it to be a big esport. But, the community does have to do its part. And the fact, like Ben had mentioned, that people are out there, they're excited enough to put all this effort into it, I think that's a very, very positive sign for the game. If you weren't seeing things like that, I'd be concerned. But the fact that you've actually got this so soon in the process, pre-beta, I think that's a very, very good sign. And it's also, so much of the popularity of the game isn't just numbers; it's the passion of the people involved. We certainly saw that in the rise of World of Warcraft as it became such a huge phenomenon in the video game industry. So passion is at least as important as the numbers. I've been part of MMOs that had a lot of people, but there was no passion there whatsoever, and they faded away pretty quick. So I think it's great.
And I was going to say, one of the things too is, and WoW is a point of this, and Heroes of the Storm is as well, is there was never a game that like created so many podcasts and all that around it before World of Warcraft. Everyone loves World of Warcraft to the point where they want to get out there and they want to talk about it. And Heroes of the Storm, obviously we do the podcast even before it was out because we were that excited. It's kind of the same thing, doing the podcast before the game was out is very similar to doing esports events before an observer mode is out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I came back to World of Warcraft from the game I was playing, obviously it's a great game, but it was also, I was finding the game I was playing, I'm like, I don't have any podcasts to listen to all week on the way to work. Like, it's just like, I want to get back into a game. I need something to do on the subway on the way to work. So like that, the community itself can bring people in, and I think that's always been a strength of Blizzard games.
Josh, any thoughts on your end?
I absolutely want this to be an esport, a huge esport. be broadcast everywhere, go on tour. I don't know if you guys been to an actual live esport competition, but I was at the StarCraft's finals last year at BlizzCon. That was my first esports thing I've ever been to, and I was lucky enough to actually sit next and talk with Mike Morheim during the matches.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. He's a super nice guy. Anyway, that I'm not a sports guy, as David will tell you, but that
You can
feeling,
tailgate though.
yeah, it was fun. That feeling I got when I was at the esport competition there was what I got when I hung out with David at the Football Hall of Fame. It's just so much energy and everything in the room, and people going crazy for like awesome moves and stuff like that. Like I've watched the international for Dota last year. I missed this year, but I watched it last year, and it's just such a fun community to be in and watch on TV, and watch in person. That I want this to be that huge. It's a fun thing. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a sports person. These are the only things I care about really is video games. So I want to have my favorite players, my favorite teams in the game that I can go home and play too. So I'm really I have no doubt that this is going to be a huge esport, and I know Blizzard just says that thing that, well, it's up to the community. That way they're not making any empty promises, because it is up to the community to make it that. So I can't wait. I am excited for it.
Josh, we already got one of your prayers answered, buddy. Your favorite players right here. You know what I'm saying? Your favorite team right here. You know what I'm saying?
Where? Get out of the way. I can't see behind you.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting time in terms of esports. I think where you're seeing all this happening, and like Ben said earlier, the look of Heroes of the Storm I think is so much better than League of Legends. You're closer. Things heroes are bigger, so I think you can see the action better. The spell effects I think are by far like more vibrant and there. So when Uther drops down his area stun, it happened. Like you can see it. When it happens in League of Legends, you can't always tell exactly what's going on if you're just like a casual viewer at this point. You have to be a hardcore viewer to really know what's going on. So I think,
and not just that, but like the destruction around everything. There's like so much more immersion into the environment, and it's like in League of Legends when like a tower blows up, it's like okay, tower just blew up, and then like if you're merc pushing with knights and golems on somebody's fort, and there's like a 5v5 team fight on top of the mercs on the fort, and everything's blowing up around you, it's exciting. It's like wow, this is really chaotic, and this is really awesome.
And the walls and more towers. I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait to see some actual esports competitions.
Yeah, I mean, didn't ESPN even do the international?
They did.
It's funny that we call Dota. We just say the international. We all know is Dota 2.
The Dota 2
but
one,
didn't they stream it on ESPN too?
ESPN 2, and people were like, "This isn't sports. They're nerds playing games."
Twitter blew up with so many haters, and I love
it's like,
every second of it.
That just goes to show that ESPN knows that it's something big. I'm sure they have millions of viewers too, didn't they? Didn't they come out with those numbers?
I didn't see the numbers, but they need to recognize that it's not just nerds playing in their basement anymore.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN shows poker too. I mean, it's not like it's.
Don't they also have like the international
off.
Spitting competition where you have to hit like a bucket that's like a mile away?
I think that's just hanging out in Texas.
Worldwide sports. What do you guys call it? What's the one where the guy wipes out down the hill on the skis? Or Wide World of Sports, right?
Yeah.
Like they were showing like a tractor pull, which I mean, maybe I don't know. Is that big in the U.S.? It just looked like a guy pulling like a tractor moving. I don't know.
David,
if they're showing that.
Next time you come to Ohio, David, I'll take you to where I'm actually from, and you'll see that's the normal sport out there.
Well, we do snowmobile races and snowmobile jumping.
That's fun, though. Snowmobiles are fun.
Yeah. So
okay, so we're gonna move on because we got a little bit more time, and I definitely want to hit our little discussion topic this week. We missed it last week, so basically the discussion topic in a pick or ban phase of a ranked match. What 3 heroes would you ban? Let's see. I'm gonna start with you, Josh.
Knew it. I would ban Adam and Ben, I would ban those guys completely.
Not me.
No, you're cool.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. I thought it was a testament to my skill, so okay, that's fine then. If it's
I would definitely probably ban Zeratul because he annoys me. He's always warping up on me and destroying me. Um, God, who else annoys me? I might have to think about that one some more because definitely Zeratul. That'd be the number one ban for me. I would just get rid of him. Illidan, it depends who's playing Illidan. Sometimes he's an annoyance, sometimes he isn't because that's a really heavy skill-based character. So I don't know. I might have to get back to you for the other two, but Zeratul was my number one.
Zeratul and
Well,
Illidan, depending on... Well, figure you're in like a high rank, so Illidan would be there because the person playing Illidan would know how to play Illidan at that point.
Yeah, even though I love, as you guys know, Illidan's my favorite lore character, I would definitely ban him. And probably, well, I guess a Lily or Murky, one of those two. Those are just little annoyances.
Lily,
Especially
too much
Murky.
healing.
Yeah, Lily's just like, here's a cup of tea, here you go. It's like, shut up, get out of here. Why can't I kill you?
David, who are your banned heroes?
well, I mean, definitely, as you know, I like to go after the Merc camp. So Zeratul and Nova immediately out. So I don't want them in the game whatsoever. They're the big ones that I have a problem with. I would probably, and then just Murky, just for pure, like, I don't want to play a game with this person in the world. So I would just immediately ban those three. I mean, Zeratul very much for what Josh had mentioned. It's like I don't want anyone cloaking and surprising me. Nova's the same way, and again, Murky just I wish they'd just ban him from the game. Period. So
You're like, I don't want to live in a world where there are cloaked heroes.
yeah, it's a dishonorable way to fight. I don't like it. So it's like I don't know. I'm like that knight who just gets like surrounded, just shot down by the Mongols who like just won't let him hit him. It's like, oh, forsooth.
Forsooth.
Man, Ben, what about you? 3 heroes,
Murky, Abathur, Lily.
and why?
Murky's just a bunch of crap. I'm tired of Abathur cloning like people like Tychus or like Nova, and then just constantly using their ults back to back together. Like we played a match the other day, and Abathur cloned Tychus, and there was 2 Thors right in front of us, and it's like, are you serious right now? This is a little ridiculous. And they were both over level 20, so they were both calling in nukes. So I don't want to have to deal with that. And Lily, honestly, sorry, no skill healer. I want, if I'm going up against good healers, I at least want them to have like a skill cap on the heroes. And Lily, you just run around and be like, as Josh said, here's a cup of tea.
Yep.
So for me, first one, Abathur. I think me and Ben are thinking the same because of a similar situation. I think especially in a very competitive game, having the choice to double up on an assassin or a warrior or even a support, just being able to make that choice on the fly is super strong, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The next one I would say is, instead of the support like Lily, I would actually get rid of Brightwing. I just feel like I could be playing, Illidan. I'm chasing down Brightwing, and no one can run away from Illidan. Like, he just keeps jumping on you, charging forward, but Brightwing just won't die. Like, just constant heals, doesn't have to use up mana. I feel like he's right now he's very strong. Maybe needs to be taken down a peg or two, and it's very frustrating not be able to kill someone when it's like a one-on-one situation as an assassin. And then my third, it's a tough choice because Zeratul. I don't like Zeratul as a cloaked melee because he's just able to kind of get on top of you and stay on top of you. and just continually, especially when if he pops the ult where he just keeps jumping at you, you can't get away. Like it's almost impossible. I really dislike Zeratul. I think that's like what three of us that don't like Zeratul. I know he might not be the most, the strongest hero out there, but he's definitely kind of a nuisance. And compared to Nova, she's ranged, so I feel like it's a little easier to get away from her because she's going to try and get you from her max range anyways. So you're able to kind of handle that, and so that's kind of my guess. The other one that was kind of there is Vala, but I think that's just more that I hate playing against her altogether. Like stupid spinning attack just frustrates me to no end. Like I feel like I have her beat and then she starts spinning and then I die. like it's like one attack and I'm like I'm done.
I'm a little surprised you didn't say Murky, because this was turned into the Murky celebrity roast there for a while.
Well, Murky had two, Zeratul ended up being, I think of the four of us, he's our least liked.
Yeah, Zeratul.
But in the end, it really depends on who you're playing too. If we're talking, say, in a game, because especially in like a competitive where you know who you're playing, and you know who people like. You're like, Ben, we need to get rid of Uther because Ben just plays an awesome Uther, so he's a ban. So that's what happens. I think it was Josh who pointed out that also depends on if you get first pick or not. Do you wouldn't ban somebody who you might want to pick and make them ban them as well. So it's pretty cool. Kind of what a draft mode can even bring into that, because then there's a little more kind of thinking involved. It's funny, I just like looking at the chat room and seeing people kind of talk around as Bliven would say Stitches. He doesn't like Stitches, so I can see that, kind of getting dragged in, and I would agree. Probably 2 weeks ago Adam would say get no Stitches, but Adam now says I can't ban him because then I can't pick him.
And also too, our the other Josh, our teammate, is saying Arthas. I could see that, but I would leave Arthas open for one of our picks, which is why I wouldn't outright ban him, just in case. If you weren't going to play Stitches, we need him in place of Stitches. So. And
everybody knows that Chen Stormstead's going to be OP, so everyone's going to want to ban him, but they're not going to, because I'm going to somehow pick him before you can ban him. I don't care what happens. Oh, man. I'm so... this needs to happen, like, this week. Like, I'm going through withdrawals of not having him, and I haven't even played him yet. Like,
he's going to be the last one just because Blizzard knows you want him so bad.
No,
he's on his way out the door, man. So
I think Blizzard's on my side.
What are you going to do if he sucks?
He's going to cry, is what he's going to do.
He gets like a wet rag and he goes down really easy.
It makes me think of Wayne's World. I just hope you guys didn't think it sucked.
If he's really bad, I'm just going to take to the forum like any other self-respecting video game player.
Oh yeah, Instagram.
Yep. There might be some tears and crying too, but
you got to have poor grammar as well in your letter to Blizzard.
See, Blizzard is on his side. They're just against me because they know that I want Cho'Gall. So
I want them to start getting. I want it like 5 years down the road when they're getting really desperate. It's like, oh, a new hero, like bread vendor. It's like...
bread vendor.
Bread vendor.
I want the baker from Stormwind.
Basic campfire.
Dude, I want a bread vendor now where I'm chunking. I can't even talk. I quit.
Yeah. A basic campfire. You know that would be great is if a basic campfire gets put in the game, Garrosh gets put in the game, and Garrosh has this thing where he has to charge a basic campfire no matter what.
You know what, though? In all seriousness, how long do you think before we see Leroy Jenkins in the game?
Oh my god, I never thought of that.
Right?
But what does he put on devout shoulder pads and heal really good then?
I think he'd be kind of like a more durable Murky, basically, just charges into you and dies.
Spawns
like
well.
really, really good AoE or something like that.
I don't know.
We need to submit that Gul'dan hero creation that dude won our contest with. Should submit that to Blizzard.
Yeah,
that was great.
And my Mechatork build that I have. My Mechatork build is, I have it, and I want to post it on a website somewhere. Be like, hey, this is my Mechatork build. Must be made.
Dude, I want to see one of the old gyrocopters from Warcraft 2, just with like some weird abilities on it.
A little gnome in it.
Yeah, the gnomish gyrocopter.
I would actually play that a lot. That'd be fun. And be able to go across the map, kind of like what's his name? I lost his name. The Griffin guy.
Falstead?
Falstead, yeah. And he'll be able to go across, like that.
Like or you could have like you probably could do like a Falstad skin where he's he's in a little gyrocopter. And it's like, no weapons.
Electricity and gyrocopters don't go well together, sir.
Okay, I would say gnomes and electricity don't go together either, but we still see that happen.
That's more goblins.
Who's the bad gnome? Like the over
Therma spark plug.
Therma spark plug. Yeah, I'd like to see him in the game. I think that'd be cool. I like him. So all the walking bombs and stuff like that would be fun. To have those little like walking bomb things.
That would be.
I think that'd be great.
Oh man,
we can go down that road for hours talking about what we would love to see in this game. Though
we need to do that on one of our episodes. Just talk about like heroes theory crafting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody has to bring 3.
Everyone has to bring 3, and it'll be a week where we get no news. So the next week we don't get any news, Blizzard. Make sure to tune in because we're gonna drop some awesome heroes in this.
Dude, I'm bringing a textbook.
podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about. Under 3 heroes.
Oh man.
Just bring us to your office. We'll tell you all of them. And you can give us a little tour. And you can hire us. There you go.
Adam, what was mentioned in the chat room, and you know what would get me really excited for this game? Leper Gnome.
Oh, goodness. It blows up and causes AoE damage.
I love me some Leper Gnome.
That is David's favorite Hearthstone card. In the Saturday Night Showdown, for those who didn't watch it, he put it down pretty much first turn every game.
Oh, no, that was second turn after Undertaker. It works great. And with the Baron, oh, man, I love Leper Gnome more than anything else. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh man! Real quick, this will be our last question. We'll call this our question and answer segment this week. So, in the chat room, there's a question that says, "If you could add only one hero, what would you pick?" We'll start with Ben. I think we know the answer.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because I don't know if I want to pick something that's already in the game or if I want to pick something that's like not even been thought about yet.
We'll say not in the game, but technically could be in the game files because they could just be mentioned for mention's sake. So not in the game and not officially announced yet. So no Sylvanas, no Kil'thas, and none of the 3 that we know about.
Oh damn it! There goes.
Not my favorite one that I'm waiting on.
You can. It's up to you. If you really want to wish for him.
I honestly want Cho'Gall, but I also kind of really want like a random wild card one where it's like maybe like an apothecary, like undead apothecary, where he like chucks poisons at people and stuff.
Like Professor Putricide or whatever.
Yes, with that exact armor.
Yeah.
Either him or what was the dude at the Wrathgate? What was his name?
That was Putricide, wasn't it?
No,
it's the other guy, Chief Apothecary.
Putris,
or whatever his name was.
Putris.
Yeah.
Putris. I'd like to see Putris in the game. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
David.
Johnny Awesome. That's who I want in the game. I love his design. I think it's great. I think he would just have the best vocalizations. I've been pushing Johnny Awesome since like day one. I think he would be just the best hero. And he needs really good voice acting too.
Really good, yes. Josh. We took away your Sylvanas. So.
You took away Sylvanas, the one that I want more than any other hero. God. I'm trying to think. I had one, and then you guys started talking about Professor Putricide, and I started thinking about that.
Clutch OP pick.
What?
I said Clutch OP pick. Here we go.
God.
Man. Do you want me to say mine and then
pick yours because I gotta remember that one.
Too much
Because I want Sylvanas. That's the only one I want. But you're like no Sylvanas, so I can't pick her now.
You
want
can have Sylvanas.
the Lost Vikings.
You want Barisa?
No, I'm just kidding.
You want the Lost Vikings?
No, I'm just kidding. I really want Imperius. I want them to pull in Imperius. I want another Archangel in the game. I think he
That
would
would be cool.
be pretty awesome, just because I think he'd be a lot different in terms of abilities from Tyrael, and the look is a lot different. You know, he's bigger. He doesn't have like the hood over his face. He has the full armor. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Imperius because I think it'd be awesome. Josh,
You know, it'd be good too. Honestly, not to throw out another one is Moros from the Tower one. Oh my god, Karazhan, Moros. I just think again, great voice acting. It'd be kind of like that the depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay, Josh, you have to give us your answer now. We're gonna.
Well, I'm going to
cut
go
it.
the same route. I'm going the same route as you. I'm going to pick someone from Diablo. I'm going to pick the Angel of Death, Malthel. How you pronounce it?
Nice.
Because he would
Very
be
nice.
a really fun one. You know, you have a charge ability and like an AOE abilities
the
with him.
Skulls going around him.
He could do that. Well, he just has that one AOE ability around him that kind of makes him immune to attacks too. And you could do that. He has his fire attacks that go around him. He would be a lot of fun. I would like to see him in there,
Awesome.
like a melee caster, if that makes sense.
Nope, I know what you're saying.
I'm a little surprised none of us picked a single warlord of Draenor.
I was thinking about doing Gul'dan, but
That's too easy.
I decided to just go off the trail a little bit.
Gul'dan would be a blast. So I
There's
hope
so many. It's hard to pick one. So
That's for another show.
that's for another
For
show.
another show.
So that'll do it for this week's Nexus, everyone. Ben, why don't you go ahead and let people know where they can reach you?
As always, you can reach me on Twitter at Stacks and Packs, STAKSNPAKS. You can hit me up on there for pretty much anything you need, whether or not you need my email, battle tag, or whatever. If you're in the alpha, come play Heroes with us. We are assembling our team. We're definitely looking for people to play with and against. That's pretty much it. Hopefully next Friday I'll actually be in my home instead of a hotel room.
David, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BrillanCTR. That's BRILLAANCTR. I've got an article up at CatalystGamingMedia.com where I talk about the World of Warcraft and how it would affect just sort of the average person. Like, what a crappy world this must be to live in. And if you're just like the average farmer who's being attacked by skeletons every day and that kind of thing. And so I was kind of happy with that article. And and of course you can always find me here at the Nexus podcast every week.
And Josh, what have you been up to? Where can people find you?
Well, as David said, you can find me here every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/Heroes of the Nexus. Come check us out. Come chat with us. We had a full chat room tonight. It was fun. And then you can also follow me on Twitter at Pakawan_AIE, PAKKUAN_AIE. That's my Twitter. And if you guys are interested in World of Warcraft, which I'm sure most of you are, there's a podcast I do called Last Stand Radio. You can find us at laststandradio.com.
Awesome. And you can reach me at Geek of Random on Twitter. Ask me any questions you want about Heroes or really any, I'd say, Blizzard property. I play a ton of Blizzard games. If you want to follow the show directly, we are the Nexus Podcast on Twitter as well. If you have any questions that you need us to answer, any questions about specific heroes, whatever, email the show at heroesofTheNexus.com. Please take the time to rate us on iTunes. You know, that helps us to get to more listeners. It also, just helps us overall in terms of knowing that we're doing a good job and we can keep on what we're doing. But you can also find us on Stitcher, the Windows Marketplace, YouTube if you want to watch the live show but can't make it. We are members of Catalyst Gaming Media, where you can find bloggers, podcasters, video content creators, anything. And it's a great place. You go to catalystgamingmedia.com. They're the ones putting on World of Podcasts as well. I want to thank you all for coming, for listening. It's a blast every week, and we're getting closer to BlizzCon, guys. I am getting excited. So we will see you all. We will see you all in the Nexus. Have yourselves a great weekend. Goodbye, everyone.
Have a good week, everybody.
Later, guys.
And stop.
Yay.
Yay, number 39 in the bag. I'm
That was
excited.
That was a really, really fun episode.
Yeah, that was good. So glad to be back. I hate missing episodes.
I know.
We missed you.
Soon,
Aw.
Ben and Josh are going to be on more episodes total than you.
Hey, don't. Let's not get all crazy here.
I know.
Although I'm sure I will miss at least probably one episode between now and the end of the year
For your birth
biological
of your
reasons.
child.
Yeah, for the birth of my child.
You're like, I might have to miss an episode.
Yeah, it's like, do you have Wi-Fi here in the room? Actually, I did ask that question during prenatal. My wife gave me a really bad look, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to pursue that.
That's funny. You're like, do you have free Wi-Fi in this hospital? And if they don't, you have to go to another hospital.
Yeah.
I was like, no, just in case I have to text someone. She's like, sure.
You're like, I have to go use the bathroom an hour later.
It's rating nights. Well, that's why I was really happy about the announcement of when Warlords was going to drop, because then I found out the date of birth for my child, right?
Oh yeah, what's the day of birth for your child?
Whatever day Warlords drops.
Oh.
13.
Like the way my luck's been so far, so I was like, okay.
That sucks for you.
Are you
I'm
taking
sure
time
that's
off
what it'll be.
for your the birth of your child?
Sorry?
Are you taking time off?
I'm going to, obviously the day of, and then the few days later, probably. Probably 3 or 4 days after.
I had 3 weeks off.
3 weeks?
Yeah. It was worth it.
Rhode Island's decadent.
Well, no, I could have taken up to 4 weeks unpaid, but I took 5 sick days and my 2 weeks of vacation for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I could go, I could just take full paternity leave if I wanted to. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'd rather, probably at that point, I'd rather go back to work.
No, you know what?
After a week.
I loved being home. It actually helped a lot with kind of my situation too. My daughter just it was great. She was rating at 3 days old.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I actually had it so I was laying back and she was laying on me while I was rating. So,
Was she beating your DPS?
No, I tank.
Well, that's not that.
Okay.
She was tanking it and it was great.
That's cool. That's cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you guys mentioned talking about World of Warcraft? You know how Dre and I are called Space Goats?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Did you see the Space Goat pet?
Now,
Yes.
is that related to the undead goat thing that got put into the game? Because I saw that something was put in for undead goat into the game.
I didn't say anything about an indigo. I just saw a space goat.
Okay. Maybe it's
I
space-
do want the
that's cool.
space. I do want the Space Goat though. It's very cool looking.
I cannot say enough about that short story, though. That was fantastic.
The cart-
That was super great.
Yeah.
The,
only
one, the
like I
Shatter
said-
Hand one.
No, the Hellscream one. The one that kind of bridges war crimes and the cinematic.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was really well written.
I'll wait on that then until I finish War Crimes.
Yeah, finish War Crimes and then go right into that short story, and then that'll lead you right to the cinematic, because it's also really well written too. It's just it's my favorite piece of fiction
first
that's come out in
page.
a while.
I was so shocked at what happened on the first page without giving.
Yeah, it got a little Game of Thrones feel to it, eh? Didn't
Yeah.
you think?
I was just I was just shocked that happened because I'm that completely threw off what I was expecting. I don't want to give it away, so I can't really talk about it. So.
Yeah, no, but it really it's my favorite characterization of Garrosh so far. He's just I felt that it was just really they wrote Garrosh very, very well in that short story. It was a perfect balance.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
So I kind of want to hang out with Garrosh now.
Man, I agree with you 100% of wanting to be part of the Iron Horde. The only thing, obviously, that wouldn't work is I would prefer that they let other races in it. I don't want to be an orc.
Well, it could be
that's not how it works.
Ron or whatever.
They would
right?
never let the pandas in. The Iron Horde would never let pandas in. So
You know what
David,
that does?
Or Adam,
That
you're
makes
out.
me a sad panda.
Oh God, you're fired.
Oh,
You
set
are
that one up.
fired from the
Oh my
podcast.
gosh. Oh my gosh. I'd be in the Iron Horde. I don't care who they let in. It's fine.
It's
They're
just,
cool.
It's just it's like the Horde from Warcraft. I mean, that's what it is. It's exciting.
Just that one scene though, where Gul'dan's like, this demon, you're in trouble now," and all of a sudden, Grom kind of half smiles, and all of a sudden you see all this stuff
That
shoot. I was
gave
like, "Oh
me
man,
goosebumps.
that is a kick-ass moment."
Yeah, then that was.
That is just such a kick-ass moment. I was just like, "Wow, I want to hang out with you guys."
And I have to admit, freaking Garrosh looks so badass in that 3D modeling like that, rendered like that. He looks so awesome. I was like, man, he's a badass. And then I remember that he's a jerk too. So
Oh yeah, I know I'm not part of the Iron Horde, but I want to be. I want it to be the third faction now. Have an orc faction, and then I will somehow weasel a panda in there somehow. Like I'll put
No one
That's not gonna
disguised
happen.
I'll
himself
put
as an orc?
green paint on as a panda.
God, no one wants your
Totally, because they're gonna be like, "Why are you so fluffy?"
Be like, it's a condition.
His orc is fluffy.
Oh, okay, it's condition.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take down the stream because I'm gonna play some heroes tonight. Hopefully you guys will join me. I'm gonna put up the stream on that random geek because I want that to work properly.
5-hour practice. Let's do it.
Got it good. Goodbye everyone. Thanks for coming to this chat room, everyone. It was fun.
Bye, everybody.